Hi guys, I'm hoping you're having a wonderful day. And since a couple of weeks, or maybe a month or two ago, I was reviewing KZ AM16 balanced armature headphones. This time I went for KZ A16PRO balanced armatures from KZ because surprisingly I really liked AM16 the headphones. So, before we will begin, as usual, all the links in the video description, and you'll also find the description of my test system setup. So, balanced armatures are always hit and miss with me. I liked some, I disliked some. For example, I disliked KZ AS24 that I've been reviewing last year. These I liked were full of detail, very transparent, but they didn't have that slightly dry signature of balanced armature drivers. As I've said, I liked the KZ AM16 that I've reviewed some time ago, and now I have this brand new AS16PRO X. That number 16, by the way, in the name means it's using 16 balanced armatures, that's 8 per channel. So inside of this little guy we have 8 balanced armature drivers. And it's always magic for me how they can even fit inside, because 16 is not the 8 per channel is not the largest number I've seen. There are some IAMs that are able to squeeze 10 or 12 armature drivers inside each one of the headphones. But let's talk about some manufacturer specification now. Well, KZ says we have 8 balanced armature drivers per side. They actually do give you types of the drivers on their portal, meaning that they are quite proud of them, and these are all produced and made to the KZ specification by Knowles. So the frequency range for those is anything between 20 Hz and 40 kHz, so the top end is quite high. They have 19 ohms impedance, and the sensitivity is specified as 116 decibels. So these are quite sensitive headphones. We have 4 drivers for high and ultra high treble. We have 3 drivers for the mid-range, and these are two types of balanced armature, and one balanced armature driver for the bass. So now let's talk about the build and comfort. As usual, the front plate is metal, though in this case we have only frame around the front, and we have plastic diamond-like pattern here that's actually translucent. With the right light you may be able to see that you're able to somewhat see through this headphone, for this IAM. So the rest of it is supposed to be made of resin, and I would say that the white part inside may be 3D printed resin, as it holds all the balanced armature drivers. You can see some of them clearly, and there are some in the background behind those guys, because we can see 4 here, we can see the 5th, the 6th and the 7th, and the 8th one is just inside over there. The nozzle seems to be gold plated, which is very nice, but it doesn't make much sense, but it looks nice. And we have a very fine mesh in the nozzle. The nozzle is standard sized, and we have QDC 0.75 millimeter connector here. They are quite comfortable. I am yet to find KZ headphones that I will not like in this regard. They are all usually very lightweight, and the shape, maybe that's just my ears, but the KZ shape of the headphones follows closely my ears shape, and I find them very comfortable, even for listening for hours. Now, let's talk about the box. KZ headphones are usually sold in two types of the boxes, the white small ones and the bigger black ones. And the bigger black ones means that this is actually more expensive luxury series from KZ because these headphones were $40, $42 to be exact. So they are not as cheap as most of the KZ offerings. In the box you'll find the regular KZ silver-plated cable, you'll find a set of silicone tips, and interestingly the default set of tips are memory foam tips. So I can squeeze them and they will slowly get their shape back. I'm saying this is interesting because usually I would be using foam tips if I'd like to tame the treble. But in my opinion, these do not require any treble taming. But we'll get to that later. So let's talk about the bass. Let's be honest, these are not for bass heads. The bass here is very fast and precise, but it lacks some heft and body. You will miss slam and full organic timbre of some drums and low piano notes. Well, these are not dynamic drivers. You definitely will want some warm, maybe a little lazy source to make the bass fuller. You will definitely will not want to use them with analytic sounding dry sources. The mid-range. The mid-range is very detailed and I liked some fine articulation nuances in vocals. Still, it's not warm, it sounds a bit analytical. The good thing is you will hear every change in singer's voice, but they definitely need warm source as otherwise voices will sound somewhat dry. And there may be some traces of sibilance in explosives. Yes, I do have a couple of tracks that are badly recorded and they should be a little bit sibilant, and they are here with these guys. With some other headphones, other speakers, the explosives in my test tracks are sometimes masked. But with this you will hear sibilant sounds and they will be as recorded. So, treble. Treble is airy, open and transparent. This is lack of the BA drivers, but sometimes may sound a little dry. Again, as I've said, that's a trait of balanced armatures, but here we have only traces of it in some, just a few tracks. Other than that, treble is open, detailed, airy and no sibilant. I really like the treble here. Now, moving on to detail. These are higher class 4KZ balanced armature headphones, meaning that we should expect a lot of treble, a lot of detail. They are very transparent and they are very detailed. You will easily hear guitar strings vibrating, you will hear small sounds in the back with live recordings. These are balanced armatures and they will not fail when it comes to the fine detail in your tracks. I really liked their resolution. These are very good in this regard. At the same time, maybe I should also add that they are not hazy. This should be obvious. But last year I was reviewing KZ AS24 and I really didn't like them because being balanced armatures, they really were hazy. These are absolutely not. These are very clear and transparent. Now, moving on to scene and imaging. The scene is very wide with very precise center image. Transparency helps with very good instrument positioning, and you will also get height and depth information, so they will sound open and wide. The imaging here is very good. And the summary. These are definitely not for the bass heads. They are very open, they are very light, they are very slightly dry and analytical. They will have a ton of detail. And imaging is also great. But the difference they make here when compared to cheaper IMs is very, very big. These are clearly higher class IMs. As the price would suggest that, higher price in the KZ range, because honestly $42 for a set, it's still a very affordable choice. But you will want to pair these with some warm and full source to balance them. I do have to admit that I love new tips. I haven't talked about the new tips, but I was thinking if I should make a separate video on that. Basically, the KZ, I may do a separate video on that actually. I was testing these with KZ LS01 tips, and these are excellent silicone tips with very wide bore and with quite long mounting part, meaning that the sound will be open and very transparent, and I really love that. And I think this silicone tips will be one of my reference sets for my AM reviews, because they fit not only KZ headphones, but they also fit any other headphone with 4 or 4.5 millimeter diameter here. So getting back to the headphones, the tips make everything a bit cleaner and more transparent because of their width. But getting back to the AS16PRO X, this is a typical armature signature. Oh, sorry about that. Completely different from planar or dynamic drivers. It's faster, it's more precise, but it's also at the same time more analytical. I liked the clarity, I loved the comfort and detail, but I longed for some more body and bass here. But if you like your IMs to be more on the analytical side, if you like typical balanced armature signature, these may be very well for you. But do not pair them with analytical dry sources, as you will get too much of the good thing. I did balance them with Akliam PD5 USB dongle, and the set was excellent, because I got all of the technicalities from AS16PRO, and at the same time it was balanced by the slight warmth of Akliam PD5, as Akliam PD5 is using Asahi Kasei 4493, and it does have a very full and very organic timbre. So with that kind of pairing, warm source and AS16PRO X, that's hard to spell, the sound was very good. So again, links in the description, my test system setup details in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. All in all, I like them. I think I'll keep them in my reference box. Again, but you do need to remember about pairing them with slightly warmer sources. Thanks. See you next time.